There we are. Right, I will see you all, excuse me, in an hour. See you then. Alright, take care.
Okay.
The process of allowing allowing the connection for spirit to speak. When there is sufficient awareness, then it is a rather interesting process. As the mind clings to the desire for control, and it must be coerced, allowed, and gently moved to one side. It is rather like pushing a pin through a balloon. Initially there is resistance until the pin is felt securely. And the pin pushes through and becomes the only thing remaining. The balloon has disappeared. And as the medium blends, there are times when he falls into a blissful state and sits within the joy of creation. And in sitting there enjoys the process, not wanting change, not resisting anything, nor desiring for anything alternative. But the mind will then not be deep enough. It must be taken one step further for a true connection to be ascertained. So if the medium enjoys the state of bliss, there is a very real chance that the medium would return quicker than what is planned, as he would become aware of the sensation of communication. And this would be enough to take him out of the bliss into the illusion of the physical life. The process is one of softening, of allowing, of not holding on to anything. And the softer the mind becomes, the less boundaries that it has, until it joins with the universal mind. And here the loss of individuality, the loss of here and there, but the presence of being then can start to dawn within the universal mind. Now you may experience this softening for yourself. Sit and try for the state of contentment. Now, contentment is not dependent. Contentment is the feeling of not requiring anything. Nothing to be attained, nowhere to go, but sit in the contentment. Look at the trees, the plants, the ants, and just be content in the process. And if you lose track of the plant as the wind blows it away, be content. Contentment by definition is desirelessness, non-resistant. And contentment is a feeling you can all both know and feel. Try now, as my words come to you. Sit in the contentment. Just enjoy being here. Expect nothing. And soften your mind and the desires of that mind. And contentment will naturally be there. And keep relaxing the inner organs. And let yourself be soft. Now I intend to work with you all. If you can allow yourself to be in this state, just for a few minutes, be at peace with the world and be at peace with yourself. And in a 2 minutes' time I will return and we will commence our talk, beginning of course with healing. So be comfortable. And begin to relax. And let that feeling of contentment come. I will be with you now and call you back in 2 minutes. Just be content. And let the contentment be your foundations for your day. Mankind is always waiting. Waiting for the phone, waiting for their friends, waiting for life to happen. The waiting takes minutes or sometimes years. When you have a few minutes, practice contentment. And if the mind reacts and provides thoughts for you to follow, say not now. There is nothing I require now. Contentment very soon becomes happiness. Non-dependent happiness. Not dependent on your money or your job. But just happiness for no reason. Within a short period of time of practicing contentment, the being begins to feel heavy and full. As the desire to move and to change slowly drifts away. And the acceptance of where you are becomes unavoidable. With time, the light will appear. The tears will come into your eyes. And the inner desire for solitude and peace becomes tangible. So let us carry on with our day. In a moment I will ask for the healing names. And after that a brief talk. And then I open to questions. So Brandon, do you have the names for me, please?
Yes, I do. Larry, Nancy, Ruben, Laura, George, Angelina, Irene, Susan, Stella, Sula, baby Stephanos and Andreas, Trevor, Teresa, Stapleton family, Helen, Daniel, Kristen Howard Wielden, Maxine and Mike, Guy and Helen Bevilacqua, Charlotte Burridge, Eloise, Felicity and Aura, Michelle and Nigel Clark, Pia Smith, Loretta Caputo, Lorna, Courtney, Justin, Jane, and Robert Schmidt. Thank you.
Mankind is always looking at effect and very rarely cause. It chases the effects and how to change them or to better them. It responds to the circumstances of life and never investigates where they come from. The causes of your life, the causes of the world, is the path that you should follow. What causes this anger that you see? What causes this confusion, these difficulties, indeed these illnesses? What causes the appearance of so many nasty things? And yet the answer is always in the inner journey. The true journey, the journey inwards for the realization before the expansion into the totality. If you see the pain in another, then that pain is within you. If you see the conflicts in the world now, where are your conflicts? If you see a tyrant, when are you a tyrant? When you see the suffering, the helpless, and those which ignore the suffering and the helpless, when do you do the same? When do you look inwards and see that the solutions to the world exist there? The understanding of the world, the way the world turns. Do you see the challenge and difficulties in your partner, but ignore your own? You say they should change, they should know, they should learn, they should look inwards. But do you? Is that your journey? When you come to the conclusion that there is disharmony inside, and therefore disharmony outside, you must correct this by looking inside. But how does that work? How is the anger inside one that is then reflected in the anger in another? It is easy to say that I am just projecting, that what I see is nothing more than my clairvoyance, or my feelings. But how does this work when it is on the other side of the world? How is it that many people have the same experiences in life but from different angles, and they see much the same experience? Now you will have witnessed this. It is not an uncommon phenomenon. You will have witnessed that there is difficulty here, there, and inside. But the very reason is that it is not two people, but one. The pain, the tyrant, and the sick and the weak are you. They are not many, but one. The energy flows through consciousness and is expressed then in many different ways. Using the old analogy of white light going through the prism to be reflected in many other colours. So the energy of change, the thought of change, is expressed in a myriad of ways. Is not green very different to red? Is not blue and orange very different? But are they not also white? So it is in the service of others that you serve yourself. It is in the kindness of others towards others that you love yourself. It is in the giving on the left that gives receiving on the right. All experiences are being felt by all. Your awareness just needs to change. As you lift your awareness from your own physical being, your awareness expands. It does not contract. And it is the same as you leave the body. Your awareness expands. Comes out of the container and becomes aware of a little more and a little more and a little more. If you want to know more about the world, then lift your awareness to view more of the world. Rather like walking up that mountain. The higher you go, the further you see. So by lifting your awareness, more is given to you. More clarity, more knowledge, more understanding. So how do you lift your awareness? Well, the first part is to clean or clarify the mind, let the mind be still. It takes focus and dedication. And in being focused, there is not a disappearing but an expansion, with a slight pause between the two. So the act of practicing contentment initially removes away your obstacles till you hit the state of bliss and desirelessness. And then you fall into the whole. And begin to understand life. It begins by practicing things like contentment. Be still and know. But do not take my word. Do not follow me, but discover for yourself. If I can be content, is there more peace in my life? If there is more peace, is there more clarity? When there is more clarity, is there more knowledge? Discover. Be still and know. Now I open myself to questions. And if you prefer, you may ask the question at any depth of understanding. Let us say from the simplified to the intermediate to the deep. As you choose. So Brandon, do we have any questions?
Before we go with questions, you and your meeting will be away for some time, correct?
Indeed so. This is the last week before a pause before these regular sessions then continue. However, there will be times of conversation and also times when I will talk and address people, but let us say not always with an audience. Now, I believe the recordings can be placed on the internet, and that is where they will be.
Correct. So I think it's safe to say that I speak for all of us here today to thank you for all of your words of wisdom over the past several years, not just today. They're giving us guidance, much reflection, and healing. So I want to thank you on behalf of everyone.
It is given freely. Nothing is asked in return. But I do thank you.
For the first question, it comes from Angelina, who's not here, so I'll ask for her. In the process of writing my book, I feel that the words are being expressed by my soul. There's an observation from me as the personality. At the same time, the personality of my guide, Annie B, it's all one, but the expression is separate at the same time. Is this truly what it is?
The more that this person, the lighthouse, the more that she can stand back and let the guide talk, well, in this case write, the more observation of something unusual happening. So if you were to begin this today, and I know this person is not beginning, or a beginner, then initially what can be a confusion is something is happening and I'm just aware that it is happening. So there is a slight separation beginning to occur between the writer and the observer. So what is happening for this lady is more separation is taking place, hence more observation, hence more ability to write. The guide is in fact a writer. And I am not sure about privacy, so I cannot go further into the guide. So the outcome is to allow the guide Annie to talk or to write. And for Angelina to be the observer, but to enjoy the bliss of what is taking place. Of course, with writing, often the medium needs a certain amount of presence, but not always. The very act of your hands moving can be very difficult for many people to not be attached to. Angelina, I suggest you sit in the contentment that was mentioned earlier. This will give you no expectation, no desire, and allow the flow of words to flow freely. It may bring emotions, as the beauty of what's being said becomes visible on paper. This is not for you to do, but for your guide to do. Please allow the guide to do it. There is nothing in error here. Just allow. Be content and be blissful. We have spoken of this before, and I believe I spoke to her and said this will happen. And I encouraged her to undertake the practice. Be proud of yourself, my dear. It is a very special moment. God bless you. Is there another question, Brandon?
Yes, thank you for that. Melada, would you like to speak?
Melita, actually, yes. Thank you so much for all you do, first of all, and I really appreciate you answering my question.
Oh, actually, it was Melada. You were actually next, Melita, but go ahead.
Sorry. Okay.
There's two, yeah. I say Melada, you say Melada. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Ignatius. And thank you for being here. My question is that, as you are probably already aware, I've been having many experiences with spirit, everything from, electricity flowing through to visions, visits from spirit guides, many explorations of different kinds of mediumship and healing. And now I'm feeling like I'm at some kind of a transition, and perhaps it's my ego wanting to know where I go next, but I wondered if Spirit had an insight to help direct me a little bit.
Did you undertake the practice of contentment that was mentioned at the beginning?
Not fully, no.
Well, when you practice contentment, can you see in contentment, then you do not need to know where you are going?
Yes.
When you practice contentment, then there is only here and no concern about tomorrow.
Yes.
So when you desire to know what is occurring, of course this takes you from now into tomorrow. And you wish for clarity on these things. In seeking clarity, you may gain desire. Or your ego may attach to a potential outcome. And of course, all these things may take you out of the contentment and distract you from what is occurring right now. Now you have many visions, including walking up a mountain, do you not?
Yes.
And you walk up that mountain with many others.
Yes.
And there are people behind you and those in front of you. Although you may not know that there are those behind you.
Yes.
You are in esteemed company, are you not, when you look at these people you walk with?
Yes.
And you recognize many, but you do not recognize them all that you see.
Yes, that's correct.
Some are familiar, but many are not.
Yeah.
So the truth of your development is not one of knowing where you are going, but allowing yourself to go. Allowing the journey to unfold truly with you, so that then it is expressed fully and not limited by mankind's desires for an outcome. My dear, there is so much. There is so much. So much that I would bring a tear to your eye in the gifts that are being given. So much that if I told you that you would not believe, and you would distract and become not the full expression. You have been given everything. Nothing is held back from you. You have been given gifts and you will unfold more gifts. You are still opening that box of treasure that is yet to be known by you. There are very few people in the world, my dear, very few, that have been given what you sit on. Do not worry about the external world and chase anything there. Your journey is just peace. The feeling of peace. The bright star above your head. guide you into the worlds unknown. The blue of the presence of the Holy One, the saints, the famous within the Guru world, the masters, and even the world of the angelic. Now they stand in front of you, but mainly behind you. You may say, let's say there's 10 people in front, but there are 10,000 behind. But lead them not. Be yourself, and they will follow. Seek no distraction. And the light of the world will shine through you. There are too often, or potentially too often, those which will distract you into the trifling, small matters of life. But more and more they will not satisfy you. The large will never be satisfied by the small. And as you grow in light and in intensity and vibration, then you'll stake your claim to be walking on the mountain, followed by others. This is a journey where you must not expect, but a journey that you must reveal. You have been given the wise, and you have been given the creatives. You have been given those which know no bounds to their love, and those which will create the world, and they follow you, but you do not know. So if I was to say to you, well, the mountain top is cold, or snowy, or sharp, or smooth, what difference does that make? It is how firmly you put your feet on the earth, and in doing so, know which each step you have arrived. Let love be your guide, and let peace be within your heart. And you will find those words spoken from Jesus to Mary Magdalene. God bless you. He certainly does. Now, Brandon, let us move on to another question.
Yes, now we can have Melita.
Thank you, and I'm so sorry about the mix-up earlier.
It is no
Uh,
concern to me.
Thank you so much for all you do. My question is, when I submit a healing request for someone, let's say Robert Schmidt is a very common name, how do you know which Robert Schmidt? There must be hundreds, if not thousands out there. How does that work, please?
My dear, we provide, not just I, but others, follow the intention that you set. So you mention a common name, no matter how common it is. Your connection to them would be singular in the most cases. And the second part is that we build up the connection of love and transmit it then through you. We go to visit this person, but also so do you. And you know this person and the two sides together. Wrap the person in the healing energy of love. You see, it looks like individuals, doesn't it? A you and a Peter. But in fact, when you step back from your world into my world, then that is not the case. We raise your vibration through your intention and follow your channel. Where is your focus now? And then you think of Peter, and that's where we will go. So as you send healing or request healing to Peter, so you are also a recipient as well. A little of the scent of the flower stays on the hand of the giver. So what you give, you also receive. What kindness you express to another comes also to you. What you give away, you fill within yourself. So if you were to give away anger, you would fill anger within your being. Healing is also an expression of your truth. To let your truth be visible and give away all that you wish, knowing you will receive. Do you understand, my dear? Have I explained that sufficiently?
It's beautifully. Thank you so much.
Never stop giving away, and you will never stop receiving. Be pure in your intention, and it is that which will colour the water of the gift. Hence the exercise of building love in your heart before sharing it. You will find, if you practice contentment, that less and less will bother you, and people will be drawn to you, and drawn to everyone that practices it. So you give contentment, and you will receive contentment. So the true teacher gives of him or herself It is not just a transmission of knowledge, but it is a gift of a little bit of them within everything that is said, and then the giving is from pure spirit. So with every word that you speak, every action you undertake, cover it with a little bit of love, and your life will be full of it soon. You will see a true healer by the sparkle of their eye. And you know when you are sitting with the real, not the fake, or those pretending. God bless you, my dear. Please continue your work. Know that you are supported. There are many with you, all pushing you gently along your path. God bless. Is there another question, Brandon? Do we have time?
Yes, we do. Up next is Grace.
Grace, I do not know your energy. Welcome.
This is my first time attending these sessions. I'm wondering how I can deepen my trust and surrender more so I get better evidence in my readings as a medium.
My dear, can I suggest that you stop looking at you and the deceased and become one together, rather than two? The closer you become to those which have passed, using the common terms, then you will find that the closer they will be with you and will often feel as if they are in or over you. So the more you become one, the more the other will be visible on or through you. Do not look for the separation, look for the unity. Look for the oneness, look for you and, let us say, the grandmother or father as being a part of you. The bond will be created better with the allowing, but also with additional power. The stronger the power you have within your energy. Do you understand what I mean by power, Grace? Do you
I
understand
think
that?
so. Mm-hmm.
Place your attention on your aura, or the energy around you if you prefer. And in keeping your attention there, what you look at will grow. And ask the grandmother to step into that aura, and for you and her to become one for the number of minutes that you intend to work together. Let your heart open. There is nothing that boosts your power more and then calls another to you, nothing better than the act of love. So if you can see the grandmother or feel the grandmother coming, love her. And she will come into your heart and love you back. You see, mankind thinks they can only love their family and a few friends, but the truth is, love is the bond between both the living and the dead. You should be careful here, but in a nice way, or be prepared, I should say, that the emotions will become richer, the feeling of the spirit will become stronger, and the awareness to your client will become rich. And they may feel the presence, not just hear your words. Let your heart be open, and let spirit sit there. That's a nice phrase to finish your question. Do you understand me, Grace? Have I been clear for you?
Yes, thank you very much.
There are people coming to you soon, or spirits coming to you soon, I should say, which will have a connection to the different wartime tragedies. They're sitting waiting for your clients to arrive. Luckily they are in full preparation. God bless, my dear.
Thank you again.
The work you do is of value. And Brandon.
Yes, we have one last one. Lindsay?
Hi, Ignatius. How are you? How are you doing, Ignatius? I would like
You
to
can't
ask
have
you-
him, can you? Why would you want him when I'm here for you, love?
Hi, Charlie. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing? You feeling all right?
No, we've been all sick in the family, so undergoing a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of change and just sort of stripping away everything, throwing it all around, throwing the whole veil around.
All
So
right,
yeah,
love.
so lots of vulnerability, I guess I would say would be the good word. My question, I guess, Charlie, for you, I guess it would be the same with the writing, to sort of see where we're heading.
Over a period of time, you and I have done a bit together, haven't we? You know, you felt the presence, and some time ago, if you remember, love, I said to you, if you let it all happen, I'll come and be with you. Do you remember that? And you sat down for a bit and you drew a few words, didn't you? Or even wrote a few words, you know what I'm saying? And in writing those few words, then you allowed me to have more of an expression. Now, I would like to do the same again, if you let me. If you want to just let yourself relax, get yourself into the right spot and let me do the work, if you know what I mean. Because I want to use both my sense of humour and your sense of humour, love. So that we can express our words in a nice, simplistic way. Some people talk all this nice fancy words, but not you and I, love. It's kind of nice to get people right into their heart, isn't it? And right back to their very joyous nature. Now, did you listen to that word said to the Angelina lady that asked the question about her guide Annie? And well, that is what I'm suggesting through to you too. If you can just let it all, you can be peaceful and you can let me do it, then you'll find the words first coming into your head and then coming out of your pen. And I would like you to do more of that. I would like also if you can do a few doodles or drawings on the side as well. Just little bits, nothing too fancy. A reason for that will become clear at some other time. And also then, can we work on a project together? And what I would like to do is you and I work together if you are so willing. You know, I can't be presumptuous. If you're willing, then I will come and work with you and the two of us to do some poetry for the young people.
Okay, I'm game for that.
Thought
you have
would
quite
be.
the audience, Charlie. You have quite the audience. And you trust me to draw, don't you?
Well, my dear, I ain't expecting much. Put it that way. Don't you worry about that.
Okay.
So
Good.
just do whatever you're feeling. If it's a flower, draw a flower. If it's a person, it's okay. It's a stick figure. Is that all right?
Oh,
And then
okay.
just draw all of
Okay.
that. And my dear, I ain't going to take you off the drawing path, or sorry, the writing path for a bit. I want to be more of an influence with that. Other things are going to come prevalent to you later on. But it's this. I'm going to try and build you up for the change of guides to get somebody else to be with you. All right.
Okay.
Do you
This is fair.
remember? Do you remember a little while ago? And I bet you don't. But I said to you, you're going to have a guide beginning with W.
Yes, William Wordsworth, I believe. I think that's him. WW.
Well, I said W. You've added the other bit, and I want to prepare you. So I'm kind of the one for you that's going to kind of pave the way. Is that all right?
That is perfectly fine. That is beautiful.
And also let your humour come into it, love. Let the humour come in. So you and I will kind of can have a bit of laughter with it, because we want to put a bit of emotion into this work, and so that people can feel the love, not just listen to the words. You know what I mean?
I do. 100%.
Is that all right with you? Have I
That is
answered your
perfectly-
question all right, love?
You have, and you've covered a few more there that were kind of nestled deep in there. Thank you. Thank you
All right,
very
love.
much.
Well, when you feel better, you ask, and I'll be there for you.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right, darling.
Thank you, Charlie.
All right, see ya. Ta-ra.
Thank you. Ta-ra.
Terry, are you with me? Are you here? Can you hear my words?
I certainly can.
You have not heard from me for ages, have you?
I know I haven't.
And yet I have come once more, and I come to tell you that you must keep pushing. That you cannot be stopping now. You got to push on.
Okay.
You know what I say, don't you? That you got to be hanging that check all big and proud and be ready.
I keep thinking it's done.
Well, keep hanging it, because there is much more, my dear.
Okay.
Everything I have said has come true, has it not?
It certainly has.
Then do not sit still now. Be proud now.
Okay.
And take this big step. Be ambitious, my dear, and it can work wonders.
Thank you.
Know I am with you.
Thank you.
Just you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So just for a short period, we now take a break. to be returned at a later date. God bless you all. May peace be forever in your heart.